Brian Rivard, Democrat.
Thank you to everyone who put this together. Wallingford Community Women, the reporters, the students, awesome questions. Folks who came out, I have to particularly thank my two daughters who came out. It's much past their bedtime and I didn't know they'd be here. Tell you a little bit about myself. I'm obviously a dad first. I have twin daughters. They go to Cook Hill School. It's interesting. I consider myself a long-time Wallingford resident now. I've been here 12 years, but we're stacked with long-time Wallingford folks. My wife and I are both transplants to the area. She's from Buffalo, New York. I'm from Massachusetts. I personally benefited from outstanding public schools, and especially from being taught. My mom was a lifelong preschool teacher, so I've got a special place in my heart for educators. And the way I would approach being a member of the board is I would remember and try to think about that this is all about people. We have great teachers. We have outstanding support staff that often gets overlooked. Cafeteria, all those folks care so much about how do we do the best for these students to make them successful and great representatives of our town in the future. I think I bring a very unique perspective to that. I've got 3 degrees. I'm an engineer, but I went through tough times growing up, and I had to fight for everything I have. I think we have a growing population that is seeing that today in our town. I do think we've got good schools, but I think demographics are changing, and we all need to see that as an opportunity to be the best we can, and not simply a cost. I'm heavily involved in the community, Parent-Teacher Advisory Council. I'm an Eagle Scout turned Girl Scout leader because I had 2 daughters. Although there's this whole debate over Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts now, but I'm not going to address that one. I'm an engine program manager. Most people don't know what that is, but what it really means is I have financial responsibility for a full-up engine program at Pratt Whitney. I'm expected to set the vision, set the objectives, hit those within a financial budget constraint. So I feel like, and it's on the same order of magnitude as to the dollars that this particular body controls here in town. I love the town. I've been knocking on thousands of doors trying to meet as many folks as possible, and I think they care about 2 things. I think they care about a diversity of perspective, which I think I bring. I think they want to make put in these kind of key positions folks that understand them and will fight for them, and that's absolutely what I'll do. So please vote for me November 7th. I'd work my tail off for this town. Thank you.
My question is, many parents have expressed disapproval of the mastery-based system in our school system. Do you feel the school system should continue with the mastery-based system, or is the system not appropriate for Wallingford?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think a lot of times people jump to conclusions based upon what they understand about it. The idea behind mastery-based learning is it's personalized learning, and you want to try to identify interests and opportunities on an individualized basis. I think there are 2 things we can look at. If you talk to teachers, certainly in the elementary levels, I think we ask a lot of them in terms of identifying every student and trying to manage their learning progression and their interest level across the board and trying to keep them up to speed. So folks are picking up one concept very quickly. You want to try to keep advancing them. And at the same time, you don't want to, go so fast that you're leaving other students behind. So as we grow in mastery-based learning, I think we need to be careful and aware of that burden on teachers. From a parent's perspective, I think we all need to do a really good job of making sure people and parents of students understand the value behind a system. It's not just words, flavor of the week. These are the things and benefits that we have long term. So I think those are the 2 things I would look at and look to work with the board on if I were elected. Thank you.
What would you like to see the school district do to better prepare students who plan to enter the workforce after graduating high school that it's not already doing?
Yeah, actually the school district actually has started a number of, I call them direct-to-career opportunities. The nursing program here is very popular. There's a pre-engineering advanced manufacturing program that's been kicked off. I think those are really good opportunities for students if we can find ways within our means pending budget situations, to potentially expand those or offer them to more students. And the reason I think that's good is here in Connecticut there are significant skills gaps that exist in some of the more traditional either direct-to-community college associate programs as well as to work programs. You know, I'm an engineer at Pratt Whitney. We have people hired through, you know, a number of different areas all across the board, all different functions. You know, and in Connecticut, manufacturing is on an increase. And they're partly due to stigma, I think, that exists from the old manufacturing ways. Students aren't necessarily going into those roles. But jobs are growing for the first time in many, many years in advanced technology type opportunities in those facilities. So if there's ways to expand on that and focus there, I think, you know, we should look at that. And there are models that are out there on how to track folks, you know, if that is their interest. You know, also partnering with the technical schools, although for whatever reason those schools' enrollment has been down. And I think we need to make sure we try to address the stigma that exists around those type of opportunities for students, because student success doesn't necessarily mean, you know, private four-year university. And I think we all need to help change that mentality. Thank you.
To the best of your knowledge, does the school district do a good enough job seeking input and feedback from parents?
I guess there's always room for improvement in everything. And, you know, one thing I'm always interested in is continuous improvement. It's something I've learned and been trained in my career. But I'm an active member in the Parent-Teacher Advisory Council. There are many, many opportunities for parents. It's open to all parents to come and participate. They exist at every local school. They often are connected with, you know, school PTOs, which is another opportunity. I have to be honest, I haven't heard anyone from, you know, the administration or from other parents be turned away in terms of communicating. That said, I think there are many opportunities to communicate, and we all shouldn't be afraid of using them, including tools that exist today in the modern era in terms of, you know, technology. I think there are always ways to use those tools as long as we can talk about them together and agree on them. I try to bring whatever parents talk to me about to those forums and try to advocate on their behalf, and also understand the alternative perspectives that may exist with administrations. So absolutely there are ways we can improve and utilize tools better, but there are many, many opportunities that do exist today.